Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Atypical Security Guard. I want to welcome you to this morning's live stream address. I'm heading into work, streaming from my phone, so you will not be able to see me. Just listen to what I have to say. This will be a quick live stream. Guys, listen, there's a lot of talk, primarily on this channel and on, most security guard centered YouTube channels, where we discuss the need for training, right? We're constantly talking about the lack of training across the board, how important it is for new officers that are getting into the security industry to be trained, certified, to understand their authority, so on and so forth. But for a lot of you guys, if you're young, right, if you're new to the industry, one of the things that I've heard from some of you is that, hey, look, that's all well and good. And as much as I would love to take a professional class from a famous gun tuber like Mike Glover, or take a class with GBRS, hey, look, man, I don't have any money. I'm working a very menial, unarmed position. I follow the YouTube channels. I'm listening to you guys. I'm dialed in. I'm doing the best that I can, but I don't have the money to attend these classes. You guys are talking about, defensive tactics, getting into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't have money to sign up for a class. You guys are talking about, medical training. I don't have the money. And listen, guys, I'm here. I'm telling you right now that I get it. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things that you can do to elevate yourself as a security guard, to level up in 2024 that won't cost you a dime. I mean, maybe it'll cost you a dime, but it won't cost you more than a dime, okay? The first thing, in terms of learning, becoming a more educated security guard, you're already doing the most, feasible thing that you can. You're on YouTube. There's a lot of valuable information. There's some great channels that are out there. You can learn anything and everything from de-escalation to business practices, how to carry yourself, how to talk to employees, employers, co-workers, how to deal with co-workers, all that stuff. A lot of that information is on this channel right here, and it's on many channels out there. So if you don't have the finances to get into an educational space, YouTube is a great opportunity for you to do that. Another avenue to get information and to get dialogue is to have conversations with and find mentors from people in the industry and people who are in law enforcement, military personnel. These are invaluable resources. Guys, people that are retired from the police department have a wealth of knowledge. What they can tell you in terms of what they've been through, what they've seen, what they've dealt with. You will not find any situation that you're going to deal with in security. And to be 100% honest with you guys, you're not going to find a situation that you're going to deal with as a man that a retired police officer cannot share a wealth of knowledge about. I highly recommend this, not just for people who are new to security, but for people who are in the industry in general. Find yourself a retired police officer and pump that person for knowledge. These guys are absolutely invaluable. What they've seen, what they've been a part of, what they've been around. I cannot stress to you guys what an absolute gem these people are to our society. Two of my greatest mentors are retired police officers, or former police officers rather, okay? When it comes to firearms, if you're going to a range, even if you're going to an outdoor range that's on public property, if you live in a state or an area that has public ranges, you still have to expend finances to get there, right? If it's a public range that doesn't cost for you to shoot on, like some of the private ranges, you still have to, have a vehicle to get there. You got to use gas. You got to buy the brass to shoot. That costs money too. I don't think that we give a lot of credit to that. We'll say, well, if you can't afford to go to the private range, just go to the state range, go to the state land, go out to the open land that's available for people to shoot. Well, yeah, that's still a cost. And some of you guys who are listening to this, you don't even have a vehicle. So what do? Okay? You dry fire. Dry fire is not only inexpensive, but it is so necessary. You need to be comfortable with your firearm, and the only way to get comfortable with your firearm is to have it in your hands. You got to learn how to use it, manipulate it, understand your trigger, understand how it feels in your hand, understand what it's like to draw that firearm, to reholster that firearm. Dry fire, safe. Let's make sure we say that. Safe, detailed dry fire can go a long way. Guys, if you go on Google right now, you can download PDFs that are 100 pages long that have dry fire drills. Now, if you can't find a large amount of dry fire drills, and I'm telling you right now that you can download shooting sequence drills. So this would be draw from holster, fire, swap magazine, 2 shots. You can do something just like that in a dry fire capacity. And if you have parents that love you, or you have family members that love you, and they want to get you something for Christmas, there's a system called the Mantis X system. Let me say that again. The Mantis X system. It's a little device that goes on the rail of your firearm, and it hooks up to your phone, and it measures how much wobble or how much muzzle drop you have when you take that dry fire shot, and it gives you a little score. And it keeps track of your progress, and you can try and beat your score each and every time. This is something that will go a long way. And for most people who are new shooters, who are, inconsistent shooters, who don't have a lot of time to get to the range, this is a great way for you to get those reps in, okay? So whether or not you can afford that Mantis X system, or you can get someone to get that for you, the dry fire drills themselves are amazing, okay? So you've got the education that you can find on YouTube. You've got the education that you can find by finding mentors in the security space, or former law enforcement officers, retired military, people like that. You've got the dry fire that's completely free to you to do at your home or your apartment in a safe environment. Stressing that again. And then what else? Last but not least, guys, what will level you up in security is to be of a higher degree of intelligence than what is normally presented in our industry. A large part of the misconception about who we are and what we do is how we carry ourselves. You have a lot of security guards that work, primarily in these unarmed positions, these low-level positions, that constantly freak out, go overboard, get out of control. And a lot of that comes from a lack of education, not education just in the security aspect. A more rounded, informed, and educated individual is going to carry themselves differently. They're going to articulate themselves better. They're going to have a little bit more world knowledge. And the best way to do that is to read. If you don't have the opportunity to read, some of you probably don't like reading, listen to audiobooks. If you're in a position where you are able to, I'm not telling you that this is what you should do, but if you're in a position where you're able to, listen to audiobooks. If you don't like audiobooks, listen to podcasts, but listen to podcasts from people that are more educated and more articulate than you. Jocko Willink and the Jocko Podcast is a great place to start. Navy SEAL, extreme ownership writer, a great orator and narrator, and a great man. Very stoic. And listening to his podcast, listening to his perspective, listening to the way that he talks about carrying yourself and interacting with people, very, very, very valuable. So those would be some of the tips that I would share with you guys on how you can level up your security game in 2024 without having to spend a lot of money. All right, guys? What are some thoughts that you have? If you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to this stream, and you're hearing me and you're going, man, that's a great idea, but what about? Hey, drop that what about in the comments. Help these younger guys, these younger gals who are coming into the industry, who are wanting to do better, who are wanting to be better. Let's help them this year. Each and every one of you that listens to this, you have an opportunity to be an instructor. We complain all the time. There's no training. There's no instructors. There's no this. There's no that. Guys, more than likely it's not coming, ever. More than likely, from those who are in charge and above, it's never going to happen. Okay, let's be that change. So each and every one of you, please, in the comments, put something in there that will help a new guard be successful in 2024 that won't cost him anything. And if you can, do me a favor, do that in the comment section once this is up. If you do it while it's streaming, it won't transfer over, okay? All right, guys, let me see if there's any comments before I get off here. No comments, a couple people watching. All right, guys, as always, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being a part of the industry. Make sure you guys are safe today if you're working, and as always, be great, okay? You take care. Be great.